So, Jet fans, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but I was informed unequivocally, allegedly, apparently, that our New York Jets have no shot to win, even compete in the AFC East. And, I made a video a couple days ago, I should have uploaded today, breaking down the position rankings in the AFC East. Now, I think it's close in a lot of areas. I thought it was pretty objective. Right now, I have the Bills probably one game ahead of the Jets and Dolphins nipping on their heels. But spent a lot of time around Bills fans, and let me tell you just the factual information that I was given. And trust me, if this was coming from any other fan base besides one that's coming off of a dynastic run, 3 straight Super Bowl appearances and 3 straight victories, those Super Bowl rings are now given out in August. I don't know if you've heard, but if this is a fan base that, prior to a few years ago, had the longest playoff drought in sports, even longer than the one that the Jets have right now, or a fan base that only had 1 Super Bowl victory like a long time ago like the Jets, or even no Super Bowls ever, imagine, I wouldn't be taking it as seriously. But this is a Bills fan base that has seen nothing but pure dominance and excellence for the entirety of their franchise. And I'm a Jets fan that saw 8 quarters of Bills versus Jets last year. And in those 8 quarters, the Jets were quarterbacked by Zach Wilson. They were quarterbacked by Mike White, a practice squad level guy who turned himself into a backup, who played the second half of that game with broken ribs because Matt Milano speared him in the chest, which is perfectly legal, even though a referee literally told Robert Saleh that because JFM hit Mac Jones too hard, the Jets got a pick 6 overturned and lost that game. Okay. The Jets also brought Joe Flacco out of a cryogenically frozen chamber to put him into that game so he could immediately fumble. And with all of that, with the Jets missing their 2 best offensive players in Breece Hall and ABT in both of those games, and being down to the most injured offensive tackle room in the NFL since the year 2015, pretty much even through 8 quarters and 1-1 in the 2 games. So I saw that. And I also saw a Jets defense that played Josh Allen to a less than 60% completion percentage in 2 games, 168 passing yards per game, 1 passing touchdown and 2 picks across both games, hovering around 6 yards per attempt. So those are bottom 5 starting quarterback stats through 8 quarters. There's actually a guy on YouTube, think he lives in Buffalo, made this crazy video last year around this time saying the Jets defense, with the addition of DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner, allowing DJ Reed to cover Stephon Diggs with safety help over the top and Sauce to lock up Gabe Davis, with the Jets front 4 getting pressure without blitzing, would be a problematic matchup for the Bills. But again, a bunch of Bills fans who would know way better than us responded with some emojis and things that only a middle school girl could decipher. Now, did the Jets implement that exact same strategy to keep the Bills to 3-point scoring in the back half of the game? I'm just a Jets fan. What do I know? What do I know? Now, I'm also told that the Jets defense won't be as good this year because Sauce Gardner got away with a lot of holding, and he won't get away with that this season. So, guys, Sauce Gardner is not good. It's a conspiracy. The league has manufactured this. It goes all the way back to his days at Cincinnati, where the receivers playing against him were all in cahoots. They agreed not to score a single touchdown against Ahmad Gardner in 3 years. And all the NFL executives who had a unanimous top 10 grade on him, the people who vote for the all-pro team, all in on it. And you might say, wait a minute, but the refs screwed over the Jets all the time. The Jets haven't had a roughing the passer call against an opponent in 23 games. That's all part of it. It's his controlled opposition for the conspiracy. This goes deep. So Sauce Gardner, not good. Okay. Just a Jets fan. So I'm a Jets fan who saw all of that and figured, hey, the Jets had Aaron Rodgers as opposed to the worst quarterback room in the league. Those games should still be pretty competitive. Dare I say I like the Jets' chances in a couple of games against the Buffalo Bills. But Aaron Rodgers we'll get to him being washed and terrible in a second. But our Buffalo Bills fans were very concerned about the personal medical choices that Aaron Rodgers makes. So overweight Canadians make more sound personal health decisions than one of the greatest athletes in American team sport history. All right. Just a Jet fan here. Just a Jet fan. And also, Aaron Rodgers had a broken thumb last year on his throwing hand, but Josh Allen had a UCL injury. Now, Josh Allen's UCL injury is the reason for his decline down the stretch and his horrible playoff performances. But Aaron Rodgers' injury is just because he's washed. So we can point back to Josh Allen's great 2021 playoffs as reasons why he'll be good, but Aaron Rodgers' 2021 MVP is irrelevant. I'm just the messenger, guys. I'm just a lowly Jets fan. What could I possibly know? Interesting. That's the guy you want to bet against. Aaron Rodgers has as many MVPs and Super Bowl trophies as both the New York Jets and Buffalo Bills franchises combined. 2 of those 3 coming in the last 3 seasons. But it's the way it is. I'm just reporting the facts to you. I also saw Breece Hall be one of the most efficient running backs in the NFL for the first half of the season, and then he tore his ACL. Now, mind you, Von Miller tore his ACL, but at 35, he's going to come back like prime Reggie White, even though he tore his ACL later than Breece Hall. But Breece Hall is going to be a non-factor with a torn ACL. It just must be a Canadian medical thing. I'm not sure how it works. I also saw Garrett Wilson get 1,100 yards as a rookie, but he can't even sniff Stephon Diggs, who is basically Jerry Rice 2.0. Garrett Wilson had 1,100 yards he's the only rookie to ever do that with a teams whose average quarterback rating was in the bottom 5 of the league. And I'm looking at Stephon Diggs, who in 5 seasons in Minnesota with a quarterback that is eons better than any quarterback the Jets had, only had one 1,100-yard season. I am just a Jets fan. I don't know. This is the information I'm giving you. So those are the facts and those are the assumptions. Now, how have assumptions worked out for a Buffalo Bills fan base? Well, I think it would be assumed that if you're winning a game with 13 seconds left and kicking it off, it's probably assumed that you win that game. Okay, well, next year was assumed that you were definitely going to walk straight through the AFC and go in and win the Super Bowl. All right. It was assumed you were going to sweep the Jets and the Dolphins. You went 1-1 with both of them, playing them even throughout 8 quarters. Now, definitely are going to obliterate a Miami Dolphins team down to its 3rd-string quarterback, who is a 7th-round rookie coming into your building in conditions in the snow, the most warm weather team in the NFL coming into the snow. I must have the box score wrong here. It should have been a 50-point blowout. It's saying by the grace of God, the Buffalo Bills won by 3 points in a game in which Josh Allen completed less than 60% of his passes and had 3 turnovers. Just a Jets fan here. Now, it definitely would be assumed that you would beat the Cincinnati Bengals, which if they did, I thought would have been kind of nice, because then Josh Allen would have got to face off against his biological father, Patrick Mahomes. Would have been a touching moment for the NFL. But that was robbed because allegedly, against the Bengals, Josh Allen again completed less than 60% of his passes, which the UCL doesn't matter because injuries don't affect quarterback performance, I'm told, and had no touchdowns and 1 interception. And they lost by 17 points. Okay. So that's how assumptions have worked out for our Bills fans. Interesting. We'll have to check back in on these facts at 11:30 p.m., September 11th. We'll talk all soon.